Hello and welcome to Indian Story. There is nothing more beautiful and exciting than story. Everybody has a story. In fact, the story is a light. Now let's watch what this story has to say.
Well, I'm Lalit Bhasin. I happen to be a lawyer. My father told me there are no shortcuts. So hard work, stick to your time schedules. You should have a clarity of thought as to what you want to do, particularly in the field of law. Well, challenges I take as they come by. I think one should have broad shoulders to take and face the challenges. The challenges have been many, but if you have a clarity of thought and clarity of what you are aiming at, then it is not difficult, you see, to deal with those challenges. Well, I was born in Rawalpindi in 1939 and 47, we became refugees, and after some brief stints in Kashmir where my maternal grandfather lived, eventually in 48 or so we shifted to Delhi, and my father was a lawyer, an outstanding lawyer in Rawalpindi, but he had to establish himself again. It was a Herculean task. Since we were refugees, we did not have many resources available to us. So it was a tough time for us. Childhood was really tough. And but my father contributed significantly in making the financial resources available, but credit goes to my mother also, who under those difficult circumstances did not compromise on the quality of our life and gave us the best possible, you see, education, maybe in not so ultra modern institution, but yet we got the good education. Grandfather, that is my father's father, he was a Congress leader in British India who fought, you see, against the British in our struggle for independence, and he actually died a martyr because when he was leading a procession in Lahore, so a lathi blow was, you see, given to him by the British soldiers, and eventually just about 2 months before we got independence, he expired because of that injury. Gokul Chand Bhasin, and he was a lawyer also, but he had given up his practice to join, you see, the struggle for freedom. Shri Tilak Raj Bhasin was my father, and all fathers have, and in my case, since he was a brilliant lawyer himself, but it took him time to settle down in Delhi after being uprooted, you see, from Rawalpindi. But he eventually made his mark, and he was known as a rebel lawyer because he appeared for the underdogs, the underprivileged, or those who were politically persecuted, like at one point of time Sheikh Abdullah, and then Bakshi Ghulam Muhammad, and then Sardar Harbhajan Singh, who fought against Pratap Singh Kairo, who was the chief minister. So he was representing all these people, a rebel lawyer, but still very well known, well respected, and he was also the vice president of Delhi High Court Bar Association. His last assignment before he passed away in 1973, the government of India at that point of time had appointed Justice Khosla Commission to inquire into the death of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So he was appointed as a senior counsel for Netaji Subhash Chandra Commission, and he travelled a lot to Taipei, to Japan, Hong Kong. My mother, Mrs. Shakuntala Bhasin, she was a modern lady in the sense that very liberal minded and very hardworking, dedicated mother, wholly devoted to bringing up the children, but at the same time inculcating good values in them, you see. I have a twin, I had twin sisters, twin sisters, they were born twins, Rajni and Sajni. I'm the eldest one in the family. After that, in 1946, my brother Sunil Bhasin, he was born. We had excellent bonding, you see, because I was the eldest one. They used to look up to me for guidance or even for taking them out, and that bonding continued. It still continues, although I have lost my one sister, Sajni, and but both of them were married, you see, in very good army families. And one Sajni, whom we have lost, her husband, you see, was the Lieutenant General V.K. Nair, and my other brother-in-law, Brigadier Lamba, was married. Rajni was married to him. He was the head of the Signal Corps, which plays a very important role, you see, in army operations. So we had extremely not only cordial but very affectionate relations. And then with my youngest sister Nalini, who was born later in New Delhi in 1950, her husband is also a lawyer, Rakesh Sani, a very brilliant lawyer belonging to a very illustrious family, not of lawyers but of bureaucrats and other leaders. So my brother is into creative fields, like he promoted what is called the Dances of India, which is a big show organized not only in Delhi but outside. It is such a popular thing that the tourists who come, they visit, you see, or they see that show, which is called the Dances of India, where they show that. And then he is into travel trade, doing very well. So far profession is concerned, it's my father. So far as my values are concerned, it is my mother. But so far as my professional career and progress is concerned, I would name Mr. Fali Nariman and Mr. Palkhiwala, with whom I have had long association. Very distinguished friends, I can say, although age-wise they were a bit older, but we always had very friendly, cordial relations, and I learnt a lot by my association professionally with Mr. Palkhiwala. I briefed him, and with Mr. Fali Nariman for a continuous period of nearly 4 decades, when he was the president of the Bar Association of India and I was the general secretary. So we worked together, and it has been a very good relationship, bringing the Indian legal profession into focus and highlighting the achievements of Indian legal profession to the world. Well, challenges I take as they come by. I think one should have broad shoulders to take and face the challenges. The challenges have been many, but if you have a clarity of thought and clarity of what you are aiming at, then it is not difficult, you see, to deal with those challenges. Well, my favorite hobbies are watching cricket, then of course music. I have been interested in music. I have participated in musical events in my college where I was called, you see, the Talat Mahmood of Hindu College, because I used to sing the ghazals and songs of that great playback singer Talat Mahmood. My first wife, Madhu, I met in the college. She was 2 years my junior. 1961, we got married. After every 2 years, we had 4 daughters. Yeah, first one was Sonia, and the second one in 65 was Divya, and third one Priya, and the Shilpa, the youngest one, and all 3 of them, you see, did law. Only Shilpa, she lives in Dubai now with her dear husband and 2 sons. And then Sonia did her law. She worked for a few years, but then she is now into this mind management and training people how to become good leaders. And she advises big business houses. My second daughter Divya, she is not into law, but she is doing very well as a individual jewelry designer after having done her jewelry course from California, that is the Gemology Institute of America. So she set up her own jewelry business where it is custom made jewelry. Second wife, yes, in 1980 she joined my firm, Nina, and she was very diligent, very hardworking. Oh, she's a very fine person, very understanding person. And when my first wife passed away, so Nina, I had to spend a lot of time with my first wife, taking her to US for treatment, so many months and all that. So Nina was holding the fort here, managing the affairs, because I could not attend to the office work. And Madhuji passed away in 91, and 95, 96, I think we decided to get married. Of course, Aditya is our son, so she looks after the office also, she looks after home also, and our life, our health, he takes care of us. Our son Aditya, Nina's and my son, he's not a lawyer, although he's done his law, but he's into filmmaking, and he's doing a great job working with such great directors like Vikas Behel, and he continues to make his own films also, short films. I have already given back to the society in a big way. I've given it back to the society when I set up a library for the young students way back in 1975 when I was the chairman of the Bar Council. These young lawyers, they did not have libraries. You see, that time we didn't have these research tools like laptops and all those computers. People must have books like these books are there. The books were very vital, and the young lawyers, they did not have access to those books. So I set up out of the funds which we generated. And you know how we generated the fund? I requested Raj Kapoor that you please give us the premiere of your film Bobby so that we can generate some funds. So I knew Raj Kapoor. He said, Lalitji, whatever you say. So he brought his team to Regal Cinema here. We were able to raise about 5 lakhs of rupees, which was a very big amount at that point of time, towards the establishment of the library, which is still there in the 30,000 courts, because that was the only district court at that point of time. 30,000 courts, and set up a fund for disabled and indigent lawyers. Lawyers, you see, who they may suffer from various illnesses, or they may meet with some accident, they are disabled. A fund has been created. That was the first step, you see, which was taken. And later on, of course, we have been giving it back to the society by suggesting how the poor and the needy pro bono work, which they call the free legal aid work, should be promoted. And our Society of Indian Law Firms and the Bar Association of India are actively involved, you see, in this work of giving it back to the society. And giving it back to the society also means giving it back to the country. I think that is also a big achievement, and that is how we gave it back, you see, to the society and to the country. I have traveled, I think, many times across the world, most of the jurisdictions, including Africa and underdeveloped countries, so-called developed countries, of course, US, Canada, UK, Europe, and everywhere, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, even China, even Moscow, Asian countries, of course. In India, I have traveled a lot, at least to all the regions, whether it is south, may not be to the important cities, because in India there is so much to see and visit. But yes, I have traveled a lot, still continue to do so, except last 3 years when due to COVID I could not travel. I think it's a very good initiative, excellent initiative, because your viewers, they would learn from the experiences of others who have made some mark in their respective fields, whether they are in business or they are in the profession or they are in politics or anywhere. And that would also enable, you see, your viewers to find out, okay, what are the deficiencies in them, in those people who are being interviewed. So it will give an opportunity for the viewers to analyze whether whatever the experts whom you are interviewing, they are saying is correct or not correct. So that is how it should be promoted, you know, this sort of I believe it's a very good initiative, and you must carry it on.
We are all unique. We come and go. But these stories are legacy forever. Do share your story with Indian Story anytime, anywhere. And don't forget to subscribe our channel